Hello and welcome to the Cardinal Sports Network, where today your Lawrence Cardinals will be taking on the Florence Flashes in boys varsity soccer. Thanks for tuning in. And we're about to get started here. The Cardinals are, of course, the team in red, and they come into the game with a record of 2-5-1. Cardinals looking to improve their record. Going up against what appears to be a tough team, the Florence Flashes have a record of 5-1 coming into this game. Cardinals defense will kick that ball out of bounds. Oh, it must have gone off of one of the Flash players because the Cardinals are taking the throw in. There's the throw. Ball is taken away by Florence. Crossed over to the far side, but Lawrence is there to intercept. And now Lawrence streaking down the far side of the field. Looks like the Flash defense will get in there and prevent the Cardinals from keeping it in bounds. That'll bring up a goal kick for Florence. Beautiful day here this morning. Hope you're all enjoying the view and enjoying the game. Florence setting up for a goal kick. Here's the kick. And out to midfield. Florence comes up with it, but it gets kicked out of bounds. Goalkeeper for Florence today is Antonio Carnival. And for Lawrence, looks like Ryan Sullivan starting out in goal. As the season has progressed, it's been kind of normal to see Sullivan start the game and about halftime switch over and Alex Hatfield taking over the duties in goal so that Sullivan can play out on the field as well. Multi-talented athlete. Free kick for Florence. Here's the kick. And Florence moving it around, trying to penetrate the Cardinal defense. There's the kick, cross, but knocked, looks like it's going to go over the end line by Cardinal defense. That will bring up a corner kick for the Florence Flashes. First corner kick of the game. Not something Lawrence wants to see. And here's the corner kick. Up it goes, and headed out by Cardinal defense. Kicked right back in, a good shot, but that was stopped by Sullivan. He'll send it out to the sideline and taken away by Florence. Florence tries for a cross, sent out to the side by the Cardinals. And now Lawrence on the attack. They'll bring that ball across the midfield line. Send it over to the far corner. There's a cross. And that one will be knocked out by Florence. That'll bring up a throw-in for Lawrence. There's the throw. And tipped away by Florence. Florence now trying to move the ball back towards the Lawrence goal, and they'll cross the midfield line. And out comes Sullivan to stop the play. Here's the kick by Sullivan, and he'll send it across the center line. Waiting to see who settles that is Lawrence. Oh, and it's a shot and a goal. Lawrence with the first goal of the game. I believe that was number 14, Manuel Morales with the goal.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
And that was indeed Manny Morales scoring the first goal of the game, putting the Cardinals up 1-0 over the Florence Flashes. Florence with the ball, sending it into Cardinal territory. They'll be headed out towards the sideline and out of bounds by Lawrence. Flashes will take the throw. Trying to get things set up just right. And here goes the throw, and it's a long one over towards the goal. No problem for Lawrence goalie, and he'll kick the ball out of there. Back across the center line. See who comes up with it this time. Florence has the ball, being pressured by Lawrence, and they'll kick the ball out of bounds. And that will be a goal kick for Florence, as the Flashes find themselves on the defense here. A little bit of a surprise with the record coming into this game. We expected Florence to be the dominant team, but Lawrence with first goal today. There's a goal kick, sent right back in by Lawrence. And Cardinals on the attack. Oh, and the shot goes high. Morales almost had his second goal of the game. That'll bring up another goal kick for the Florence Flashes. And here's the kick. Out it goes. Headed by Lawrence and back by Florence. Cardinals come up with the ball, passed up the middle. Oh, and the Flashes goalie has to come out and put a stop to that one. That was Antonio Carnival with the stop. Nice play by him. Broke up what could have very easily been another Lawrence goal. Florence trying to make something happen here, but Cardinals all over him. Cardinals now with the ball on the far side. Play is broken up by the Flashes. And that one will trickle out of bounds for a Florence throw in. Lawrence will clear the ball. See if they can settle it down and go back on the attack. Ball's out a little bit in front and kicked over the sidelines by the Florence defense. That will bring in a throw in for Lawrence. There's a throw. No challenge yet from Florence. Here they come now, and a little give and go from Lawrence. Shot on goal is deflected. And it looks like that will be another throw in for Lawrence. Lawrence still on the attack in the early going of this game. Looking for a big throw here. And he certainly is in towards the goal. Oh, just barely headed out and away by Florence. Kick back towards the goal, and out comes Antonio to pick that one up. He'll roll it out towards the sideline where one of his teammates will pick it up. Ball is stripped away by Lawrence, and now Lawrence goes back on the attack. Off in the far corner. Little tangle there. Florence comes up with the ball. Pass towards center field. And they'll drop it back now over towards the near line. Lawrence comes away with the ball, and it's Lawrence on the attack, driving down towards the goal. Cross towards center, and shot is off to the left. That one goes out of bounds over the end line. That will be another goal kick for the Florence Flashes. Lawrence keeping up the pressure here in the early going of this game. Really putting on a good showing. Here comes the goal kick. Not a whole lot of distance on that one. And it'll drop right back. Let's see if Lawrence can take it away. And they do. Pass up the middle. And Carnival comes out of the net. Picks that one up, stopping any attempt by the Cardinals. Here's the kick. He sends that one well into Cardinal territory. Cardinals quick to bring it back into Flash territory. Action in the far corner. And Flashes will kick that one over toward the sideline. Out it goes. That will bring a throw in for Florence. There's the throw. Picked up by Flashes and sent right back in by Lawrence. Lawrence backfielders doing a good job of putting the ball right back into play anytime Flashes get it into Cardinal territory. There's a kick across the center line, headed by Lawrence. And that looks like it'll roll out of bounds. No, it does not. Lawrence keeps it in play until now. See who comes up. Well, it's going to be a throw in for Lawrence. I couldn't tell who was the last one to touch that one, but Lawrence taking the throw. And it's another big one sent in towards the net. Headed by Flashes. Finally cleared by the Flash. Now the Flash on the offense. Kicked out of bounds by Lawrence to break up that play. And it'll be a throw in for Florence. There's the throw. Quickly kicked over towards the corner and over the end line. That should bring up another goal kick for Lawrence. Actually, there haven't been very many goal kicks for Lawrence, as the Flashes haven't mounted much of an attack against the Lawrence net. Here's the goal kick. Out to center field. Picked up by Lawrence. They'll send it over to the far side. Now driving toward the net. Quick little pass there. Over to the near side. Shot is blocked. Here comes another attempt, and this one's going to be wide and slow. That will roll across the line to bring out a goal kick. Antonio Carnival electing to let one of his fullbacks take the kick. And here comes the kick. Out it goes. Stopped by Lawrence. Kept in play by Florence, however. Lawrence sends it right back. And up the line goes Lawrence. Now Lawrence trying to work it in towards the middle, but heavy pressure from Florence. And that'll ricochet out towards the sideline. Kept in play, though. And Lawrence sends it right back in there again. This one, they kept that one in play, and Florence took advantage of it. Not for long, however, as Lawrence regains control of the ball. Now they'll send it up the sideline. No one there other than the waiting arms of the goalie. Carnival directing his team to move over a little bit, and there goes the kick. Probably a bit of a diversionary action by Carnival to try and get the Cardinals out of position. Didn't work as the Cardinals returned the ball, but a whistle on the play. It looks like it's going to turn the ball over to Florence. Florence setting up for a free kick. There's the kick. Headed out by the Cardinals. And Cardinals come away with possession of the ball. Pass it over to the far corner. Empty net, but ball goes over the end line, saving the Florence Flashes from another goal right there. Dangerous situation. Goalie was out of the net, and Lawrence had a chance to center the ball cross it and put it in for a goal. Did not happen. Corner kick as Lawrence sets up on the far corner. Up it goes. No one able to capitalize on that one. Headed out by Florence. Sent right back in by Lawrence, but just a tad high. That'll bring up a goal kick for Florence. That's Jared Marshall who's taking the goal kick. I'm sorry, he's traded off there, and it's Tanvir Raha. A lot of head action back there, waiting to see who can settle the ball. Florence tried, but Lawrence is going to clear it out of the area. Lawrence comes up with the ball. Let's see if they can keep it in. They do. Advancing it down the far line. And Florence finally gets a clearing kick on it. And a whistle on that play. Looks like it'll be a free kick for Florence. There's the kick. Sent well down towards the Lawrence goal. Quickly rejected by Lawrence defense. Florence on the attack here, trying to make something happen. Lawrence kills that play, and they will send it back out. Florence now with the ball. Play is broken up, but Florence regains control. Here's the cross towards midfield. Florence with the ball now over towards the near sideline. They'll center it, and the ball is kicked up in the air, headed towards the goal by Florence. But that one will roll out of bounds for another goal kick. Lawrence setting up for the goal kick. There's the kick. Out past center field. And that may have been a pushing call against Lawrence. We'll see how that goes. Looks like it'll be a free kick for Florence. Here comes the kick. And a good kick it is. Sent well down into Lawrence Cardinal territory. Cardinals clear it right back out of there. And a little back and forth between the two teams. Florence comes up with the ball. Heading deep into Cardinal territory. There's a shot towards the goal. And a save by Lawrence goalie Ryan Sullivan. Sullivan with a good stop on that one. He'll bring the ball out to the end of the 18 and boot it down the field. Lawrence settles the ball. He'll drop it back and reset. Ball's kicked out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for Lawrence. There's the throw. Oh, throw never even came inbounds. Let's see if yes, they'll give him another try at that one. There's the throw. Kicked out of bounds by Florence. Another throw for Lawrence. This one's going well down into the far corner. Cross by Lawrence. Rolls right across the front of the 18. Nobody able to get a foot on it. Now struggle for possession on the far side of the field. And Lawrence comes up with it. There's the shot. And the ball will bounce off of the crossbar and go out of bounds. Very dangerous shot there. Carnival was diving for it, trying to prevent it from going in. This will bring up a goal kick for the Florence Flashes. Tanvir Raha with the kick. Down the field it goes. Little bit of contact from both players there. I think the call's going to go against Lawrence. And that will bring out a yellow card. Yellow card for one of the Flashes as well. As action gets a little heated out there on the field. Refs having none of that. They're going to put a stop to that and try and get good sportsmanlike play back underway here.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
And Raha will take the kick for the Florence Flashes. Headed out by Lawrence. Sent right back in. Oh, and a diving save there by Sullivan to keep that one from going in. I believe that one was tipped by one of the Flash players before it went out of bounds. That would make it a goal kick for Lawrence. And here's the kick. And a good kick it is. Well out past the midwell. Lawrence in scoring position, couldn't quite get it in. It's cleared by Florence. Still going back and forth between the two teams. We'll see who comes up with possession, but the ball has gone back towards the Cardinals side of the field. Cardinals reset. And they'll send it. Oh, got away from them, and that turns the ball back over to Florence. Florence trying to make something happen here. Pass up the far line. Now taken away by Lawrence. Lawrence drives it across the center line, and there's a pass toward midfield. Shot on goal, and it's good. Romulo Lopez scores the second goal of the game for Lawrence, putting the Lawrence Cardinals up 2-0 over the Florence Flashes here in Cardinal Stadium.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTBS TV.
That was an excellent corner shot there by Lopez. Now the Flash kick the ball into the Cardinal territory. Headed back across the line by Lawrence. Good play by Lawrence over there to keep possession of the ball. Taken away by Florence, however. Florence now advancing towards the Lawrence goal. Ball is kicked out by Lawrence. And that sends the Cardinals back on the attack. Lawrence driving up the near side, now looking for a little bit of help. Send the ball in towards center, but Florence is there to intercept. And Florence will play it back to their goalie, who kicks the ball out. And whistle on the play. A little bit too much contact on that play. We'll turn the ball over to Florence for a free kick. Lawrence has scored 2 unanswered goals so far in this game, showing that they are the dominant team on the field at the moment. Given the records of the two teams, that's a bit of a surprise. Lawrence got off to a rough start this season, but they've been showing signs of vast improvement as the season progresses. I'm sure Coach Fitton is glad to see that. There's a throw in for Florence. Kicked back out by Lawrence. Florence with possession of the ball, but good pressure by Lawrence. And the ball kicked back towards the sideline by Lawrence. Lawrence takes possession. They'll advance it up the field. Picked off by Florence. And this one is dangerously close to the sideline, and out it goes. Not sure whether that call was an out of bounds or a throw in. Let's see what they call. That may have been a penalty. Yes, it's going to be a free kick for Florence, and in towards the goal it goes. Deflected on the first shot. Sent back towards the net and clean over it. So that will bring up another goal kick for Lawrence. A little bit of cloud cover rolling in probably makes it a little more comfortable for the players. But still a beautiful day here at Cardinal Stadium as the Lawrence Cardinals now go with the goal kick. Brought back by Florence, but cleared by Lawrence. And now it's Lawrence on the attack. Cross towards center field is deflected by Florence. Lawrence regains control. Sent towards center, but looks like Florence is going to break up that play. Lawrence not giving up. And now Florence going on the attack as they cross the center line. Pass down the sideline, and that one did wander across the side. So throw in for Lawrence. Taken away by Florence. Good double team there. Lawrence with the ball. They'll send it over towards the far side. Headed out by Florence. Lawrence quick to take it back. Scramble for possession. And I think that will be a call. Oh, that was a call against Lawrence. I thought it was going to go against Florence. My mistake. So Florence will get the free kick. In it goes. And several head balls there. Sends it out towards the sideline. Florence is going to send it in. Picked off by Lawrence. Taken away by Florence. A lot of back and forth action down here. Now Florence will cross the ball over towards our camera position. Ball is sent up the field. Fancy footwork there. Didn't gain anything. Didn't lose anything. Florence still with the ball. My apologies. And I think that one rolled across the end line before anybody made contact, so it'll just be a simple goal kick for Lawrence. Got a few substitutions going on right now. That'll hold up play for a moment. About 13 minutes left in this first half. Your Lawrence Cardinals leading 2-0 over the Florence Flash. There's the kick from Lawrence. Settled by Lawrence and taken away by Florence, but quickly regained by Lawrence. Now up the middle. Oh, play is stopped. Lawrence regains control of the ball, and a shot right into the waiting arms of Antonio Carnaval, who saves that one. He'll roll the ball out to a teammate on the far side. There's a kick up the field towards the Lawrence goal, and kicked out of danger momentarily there by Lawrence. Now across the field. Lawrence with possession. And the ball is kicked out of bounds by Lawrence. That should turn the ball over to Florence for a throw in. There's the throw. And ball is kicked deep into Lawrence territory, right across the end line, bringing up yet another goal kick. Lawrence's goal kicks have been out past the center line of the field, I believe, every time this game. So, good leg there. And we'll see another one go out and across the center line. Not sure who that one was out on. Looks like Florence will take the throw in. Lawrence comes up with the ball. They'll drop it back and reset. It's kicked up the field, headed by Florence. Florence returns the favor. Now Florence with a big kick. And off of Lawrence, throw in for Florence. Lawrence will kick the ball to the far side of the field. Back and forth between the two teams. Neither team seems to be able to maintain possession for long at this point. Now Florence with the ball. They'll advance it down the center of the field towards the Lawrence goal. Kicked back out by Lawrence. Florence keeping the pressure on. But a quick turn there by Lawrence takes the ball away. Recovered by Florence. And taken away by Lawrence. Good heads-up move. Taken away by Florence. Florence stepping up their game a bit here in the later parts of the first half. Less than 10 minutes to go, and Florence now able to keep the ball in the Lawrence end of the field. Cross to center, and shot is wide to the left. Signs of life out of Florence. Lawrence is going to have to redouble their efforts to maintain control of this game. This will be a goal kick for Lawrence. There's the kick. And kicked right back again by Florence. Once again, back and forth between the two teams. Lawrence sends it up the line. They'll drop back and reset. Now across to center and heading over towards the near line. Lawrence sends the ball up the field. Out of bounds it goes, and Florence will come up with a throw-in. There's the throw from Florence. Florence working the ball over to the far side of the field, trying to get around the Lawrence players. Lawrence now in possession of the ball. They get it back across the center line, but can't hold on to it. And Florence recovers. Ball down in the 18 of Lawrence. Kicked across the end line by Lawrence, I believe. Let's see, but I think that will bring up a corner kick. Yes, it looks like corner kick for Florence. I believe that's Connor Kurtz who's going to be taking the kick. Here's the kick by Kurtz. Up it goes. Into the waiting arms of Ryan Sullivan, who puts another stop on the charts. Sullivan with the kick. Picked up by Florence. Florence moving the ball around smartly. They'll drop it back. And Lawrence gets in there to break up the play. Looks like Florence is going to maintain. Lawrence not going away, however. And I believe that'll be a call against Lawrence. Referee instructing the players the correct place to take that penalty. This would be a free kick for Florence. Tanvir Raha taking the kick. He sends that one well down the field. Shot on goal. Goes across the mouth of the goal and stopped by Lawrence. Now Lawrence on the breakaway. They'll send it up the field, but no one there. Now advancing the ball across the line. Florence still in possession. Wild kick, and that will be picked up by Lawrence, sent back out. Lawrence still in control of the ball, but heavy pressure from Florence. Now Florence comes up with it. Back to Lawrence. And cleared by Florence. Lawrence in possession. They'll send it out towards the sideline and up the line and out of bounds. That'll turn the ball over to Florence. Just over 5 minutes left here in this first half. Lawrence leading 2-0 over the Florence Flashes. Expecting a throw in from Florence. Here's the throw. Florence in the far corner with the ball. And the ball will run out of bounds. No call on that play. Here's the throw in for Lawrence. Lawrence advancing the ball down the field towards the Florence goal. It's been a while since we've seen this, but Florence kicks it out of bounds to break up the drive. That will bring up another throw in for Lawrence. So here comes the throw from Lawrence. Right over towards the goal. Bounces around a bit. Let's see what happens. Shot on goal, and in it goes. Another goal for Lawrence. Richard Morales says, if Brother Manny can do it, why can't I? Morales with a goal put the Cardinals up 3-0 over the Florence Flashes here at Cardinal Stadium.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Less than 4 minutes of play left in this first half as the Cardinals are leading 3-0 over the Florence Flashes here at home. Florence boots the ball out of their area and down to Cardinal territory. Cardinals will play the ball from one player to another rather than going for the long kick. And now advancing it down the near sideline. Ball's kicked out of bounds by Florence. Lawrence with a throw in. Gets tied up by Florence, and that looked like a tripping call against Lawrence. Florence will take a free kick. There's the kick, and they'll send it across the field, trying to work their way around the Lawrence offense. Not entirely successful as Lawrence brings the ball right back into their area. Now Florence bringing the ball down the near sideline. Play is broken up by Lawrence. Pass is intercepted by Florence. And the ball finally cleared by Florence. Reaches its mark. However, lots of Cardinals there to stop the play. Speaking of stopping the play, a whistle is blown, which will go against the Florence Flashes as Lawrence Cardinals will take a free kick. Less than 2 minutes left as there goes the kick from Florence. And shot on goal is just a little wide. That will bring up a goal kick for Florence. Got a few substitutions going on while they fetch that errant ball. And then we'll have a goal kick from Florence. 1:30 left in the half. Here comes the kick, and it's a gentle pass out to the sidelines. Now kicked back towards center, and Florence tries to capitalize on that. Back and forth action. Finally, the ball is cleared by Florence. Up in the air it goes. Ball kicked down the far sideline. Lawrence recovers, and there's a kick by Lawrence. Sent well down the field and headed by Florence, but settled down by Lawrence. Ball's kicked out of bounds by Florence. That'll bring in a Lawrence throw-in. 30 seconds left in the game, and the Cardinals are back on the attack. The last time the Cardinals had a throw-in from this area, they were able to convert it into a goal. Here's the throw towards the goal. Headed and finally picked up by Florence goalie. Florence will send the ball way down the field. 10 seconds left on the clock in this half. And it's goalie-to-goalie action here as they pass the ball from one to the other. There's the kick from Lawrence, just in time for the buzzer, and that will bring the first half to a close as your Lawrence Cardinals lead 3-0 over the Florence Flashes here at Cardinal Stadium. Stay tuned for our second half.
You're watching the Cardinal Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
Well, the cheerleaders have taken the day off, so we'll get started right away with the second half of action here at Cardinal Stadium. Once again, you've got the Lawrence Cardinals taking on the Florence Flashes in boys varsity soccer. Cardinals with the ball right now. Advancing towards the Florence goal. Florence defenders take it away. Picked up by Lawrence. Lawrence will cross it to the center. Now pass over towards the near side of the field. Advance it up the line. And a pushing call against Florence. That will give us a free kick for the Lawrence Cardinals. Romulo Lopez will take the kick. He started off the action this morning with the first goal of the game. That one doesn't find the net as the Flash's goalie gets a handle on it. He'll send the ball out towards center field. Lawrence tries to bring it right back in again. Florence defense has toughened up a little bit since the first half. Florence with the ball now. Play is stopped by Lawrence. Lawrence now looking to advance the ball. And it's kicked out. Last touch was by Florence, so Lawrence will get the throw in. Here's a throw by the Cardinals. Headed out by the Flash. Lawrence right by the sideline, able to keep it in bounds. Oh, fancy footwork there and pass to center field. Taken away by Florence. They'll drop it back and kick goes up the sidelines. Tipped out. I think that was off of Lawrence. That will bring in a throw in from Florence. Here's the throw. Kicked out of bounds by Lawrence. I'll bring in another throw in by Florence as the Flashes are getting closer to the Lawrence goal. Throw is deep, but kept out of the net. Ball will go out of bounds and set up a corner kick. Dangerous times for the Cardinals as the Florence Flashes are within scoring range with a corner kick here. Up it goes and headed out by Lawrence. Lawrence with the ball. Working up the sideline, taken away by Florence. Florence reverses direction. Scramble for possession. Florence comes away with it. Tipped out of bounds by Lawrence. That will be another throw in for Florence. There's the throw. Way across the field, now kicked high up in the air. Headed up in the air and now headed toward the end of the field. Lawrence will keep the Florence player from keeping it in bounds, bringing up a corner kick. I'm sorry, not a corner kick, a goal kick for Lawrence. Here's the goal kick by Lawrence. Ball goes all the way down to the Florence goalie, who knocks it right back out again. Pressure by Lawrence, trying to keep the ball down by the Florence goal. It'll roll out of bounds, throw in for Lawrence. Jack O'Reilly will take the throw. Here's the throw in. Headed up in the air by Florence. Now it comes out of the 18. Lawrence quick to try and put it right back in there. Can't hang on to it as Florence is all over them. And Florence will now drive up the field towards the center line. Lawrence with the ball. No call on that play, and that will set up a cross to center. Shot, and in it goes as the Florence Flashes get their first goal of the game. A little bit of discussion about that one. That was Corey Tyndall, number 26 for the Flashes, who put that one in the net. And it looks like that goal's going to stand.
You're watching the Cardinals Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
So a goal by Tyndall puts the Florence Flashes on the scoreboard.
Did you get it?
I'm sure the scoreboard will catch up. There he goes. Score now 3-1. Lawrence still leads over the Florence Flashes. That's a call that could have gone either way, and it certainly had an outcome on the scoreboard. But the officials electing to call that no penalty. And Florence Flashes are now in the ball game. Lawrence is looking to center the ball. There's a start of play. And the ball is kicked both directions, back and forth. Lawrence now with possession. They'll drop the ball up, try to kick it forward, but it's deflected. And there'll be a whistle on that one. Looks like he might have stepped slightly out of bounds. There's a throw in by the Flashes. And Cardinals will boot it up the field. Excellent play there by Cardinals. Scoring opportunity for the Cardinals, but a diving save by Antonio Carnaval, and the score is denied. Looks like that one went out of bounds. Should be a throw in for the Cardinals. Oh, my mistake. That was a free kick for the Cardinals. Send the ball away to the near corner. And now the ball is kicked out of the Lawrence goal area. And Damian Zumingras goes down hard, drawing a penalty. And he's sitting up. Looks like he'll get back into action. That will bring up a free kick for Lawrence. Jack O'Reilly with the kick. And Lawrence has it on the far side of the field. Heavy defense by Florence, however. Florence takes the ball away. Recovered by Lawrence and crossed to center field. Lawrence will drop back and reset. And back and forth it goes. A high kick settled by Lawrence. And once again, another whistle on that play. We'll bring up another free kick for Lawrence. Still got over a half an hour of play left in this game, so it's still anyone's game. Lawrence currently leading a score of 3-1 over the Florence Flashes. Lawrence with the ball in Florence territory. Driving down the field. Defense is there to put a stymie on that one, and the ball will go over the end line. That'll bring up a goal kick for Florence. And the referee's holding play for a moment while they make substitutions. And the goal kick turns into a pass. Now pass back towards the middle. Nice driving attempt there by Lawrence. Didn't quite connect with the ball. Florence still in possession. They'll boot it down the field. Kicked back up again by Lawrence. Finally, Lawrence takes possession of the ball. Lawrence kicking the ball over towards the 18. Picked up by Antonio Carnival for Florence. And he'll drop kick the ball out of the 18. Well past the center field line. And headed back the other direction by Lawrence. Florence kicks it back towards the Lawrence goal. As play heads over towards the far corner. Eventually the ball goes out of bounds. I believe that will be off the foot of Lawrence, giving Florence a throw in. And here's the throw in. Ball is kicked out of bounds, this time by Florence. Over the end line, that'll bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. Looks like there's been a goalie change in the Lawrence net. That looks like Alex Hatfield is now in goal for Lawrence. Hatfield with a good kick. And players headed back and forth a few times. Finally picked up by Lawrence. Lawrence with the ball going on the attack. Shot is just a little high, and that'll bring up a goal kick for Florence. Florence setting up for the goal kick. Here's the kick. Lawrence comes away with the ball. A little trouble settling that pass down. Lawrence still in possession of the ball, trying to move it down the far sideline. There's a pass to center, headed out by Florence. Now Florence takes the ball, trying to head towards the Lawrence end of the field, and they do so. That will go out of bounds off the foot of Florence. There's a throw in for Lawrence. This time it goes off of Lawrence, so Florence will get the throw in. And we're getting ready to have that throw in we promised you. Here's the throw. And that one will trickle out of bounds, turning the ball over to Lawrence. There's a throw in for Lawrence. Ball is taken away by Florence. Florence will kick it down the sideline. Kept in bounds. Now Lawrence on the attack. Picked off by Florence. Lawrence recovers the ball. Fancy moves there. And taken away by Florence and cleared. Finally, Florence comes away with the ball as they head down the sideline. Lawrence will tip it out of bounds to stop the drive. Bring up a throw in for Florence. There's the throw by Florence. Headed back out by Lawrence. Headed back in by Florence. And Lawrence, tried to clear it. There we go. Out of the area. Florence trying to bring it back in. And still a struggle for possession over there on the far side of the field. Ball is kicked away by Florence. Tipped off of Lawrence, so the out of bounds throw in will go to Florence. Oh, I take that back. That's not a throw in. They're going to call that one a penalty, giving a free kick to Florence. Florence with the kick, sails it in towards the goal, but it's off to the left side. Out of bounds, that'll bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. .25 minutes to go in the game, and both teams are appearing pretty evenly matched at this point. Florence has stepped up their game and kept Lawrence away from their goal a lot better than they did in the first half. Now Lawrence on the attack, but attack stopped quickly by the Florence defense. Lawrence just as quickly stops the Florence offense. Ball will head down towards the goalie. And Carnival will simply roll it over to one of the fullbacks. There's a kick up the field. Taken away by Lawrence with a kick back in the other direction. Lawrence in possession for the moment. Now it's a foot race down the far sideline. Taken away by Florence. And kicked out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for Florence. After these few substitutions, that is. And here's the throw for Florence. And a long throw it is. Lawrence comes up with possession of the ball. They'll kick it up the field and headed right back down again by Florence. Now Florence working the near side of the field. Good give and go there. Play is broken up by Lawrence. Lawrence can't maintain possession of the ball, however. That one heads toward the sidelines, and out it goes. Lawrence with a throw in. And I believe that will be a free kick for Lawrence. Under 22 minutes left in the game, as your Lawrence Cardinals are currently leading over the Florence Flashes with a score of 3-1. There's the free kick, fielded easily by the goalie. And once again, he chooses not to kick it down the field, but instead to roll it over to one of the fullbacks, who advances it down the near sideline. Lawrence simply sends it back the other direction. Now Florence back on the attack. Lawrence picks off a pass and starts moving it on their own back toward the Florence end of the field. Can't quite get there. Now the ball moves down the far sideline. Cross toward center. Down goes one of the Cardinals. And it's Florence on the attack. Now it's a foot race for the ball. Referee's going to call a stop to that. We'll see who he gives possession to. And it looks like it'll be a free kick for Lawrence. Here comes the kick for Lawrence. And it's a good kick. Well down into the 18. Goalie comes up with it. Here's a kick by the goalie. Sends it into Lawrence territory. Lawrence will send it right back again towards midfield. And Florence with possession of the ball. They'll send it deep, deep down. And it looked like Ryan Sullivan had to come out and grab that one. There's a kick by Sullivan back towards midfield. In fact, that one's going to head all the way down towards Antonio Carnival. He sends it out. And it looks like the ball's gone out of bounds. I believe that will be a throw-in for the Flashes.
You're watching the Cardinals Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
And here's the throw-in for Florence. Headed out of bounds by Lawrence. That will bring in another throw-in for Florence. There's the throw deep towards the goal. Cleared by Lawrence. Florence will head it back towards the Lawrence goal. Stopped by Lawrence. Now Lawrence will kick the ball down the sidelines. Quickly kicked back the other direction by Florence. And Florence advancing the ball down the far sideline. Ryan O'Sullivan comes out of the goal and scoops that one up. He'll send it back into play. Now Lawrence working the near sideline. Ball is kicked out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in for Lawrence. Here's the throw-in. Some fancy work there. Ball's taken away by Florence. Florence working the ball over to the far side of the field. Trying to advance it on the far side. Managed to keep the ball in bounds. Didn't keep the ball, however, as Lawrence comes away with it. That one's kicked way down the field and will go across the end line for a goal kick. Florence with a short kick. Now it's going to get booted up the field. Florence comes away with the ball. Now advancing towards the Lawrence goal. And that one will roll out of bounds. Off the foot of Florence. That will be a throw-in for Lawrence. Lawrence clears the ball. You can definitely see the amount of play in this game is starting to wear and tear on both teams as play has slowed down and gotten a little sloppier. Game started out with Lawrence doing very succinct passes. Now they're having to boot it out of the area just to clear it. Lawrence with possession of the ball right now, and there's a cross towards center, headed out by Florence. Drive toward the goal. The shot is a little bit off to the left. That will bring up another goal kick for Florence. So Lawrence still keeping the pressure on Florence. While they haven't put any in the net in this half, they have been in scoring position on many occasions. 16 minutes left in the game, with your Lawrence Cardinals still leading with a score of 3-1 over the Florence Flashes. Florence with the goal kick sends it well into Lawrence territory. Lawrence breaks up that play, but Florence gets another foot on it. And Ryan Sullivan has to come out of the goal to pick that one up. Ball gets away, out of bounds. That will turn the ball over to Florence. Florence sends it over towards center. In fact, all the way to the far side of the field. They'll drop back and reset. Florence now with a kick in towards the Lawrence goal. And kicked right back out again by the Lawrence defense. Lawrence driving down the far side. Ball's trickle out of bounds and turn possession over to Florence. Florence on the attack with a throw in. Lawrence comes up with the ball. Well in their own territory. Florence takes it away. And they're on the attack. Lawrence clears the ball. Deep into the Florence territory. Florence goalie will kick it right back out again. And there's a nice kick up the field. Ryan Sullivan comes out to punch it out of the area. Florence tries to keep it in bounds, couldn't quite do it, so Florence throw in. Cross towards center. Ball is headed out by Lawrence. And kicked out of bounds. That will turn the ball over to Florence with another throw in.
You're watching the Cardinals Sports Network here on LTPS TV.
And here's the throw in for Florence. Headed right back out again by Lawrence. And right out of bounds. There's another throw in for Florence. Right across the mouth of the goal. Oh, kick by Florence toward the goal, goes high. No goal. That will bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. 13 minutes left in the game, with Lawrence still up 3-1 over the Florence Flashes. Cardinals with the ball now, taken away by Florence. And whistle on that play. That will bring up a free kick for Florence. Good show of sportsmanship there on the field after the play. Jared Marshall with the kick. And that goes over everyone and out of bounds. Over the end line will bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. Now down to 12 minutes of play left in this game, as things kind of tapered off. Neither team able to mount much of a serious challenge at the moment, as both defenses have stepped up their game quite a bit. And Florence sends the ball back towards the Lawrence goal. Tipped out of bounds by Lawrence. That'll bring up another throw in for Florence. There's the throw. Well into Cardinal territory, but not a problem for Ryan Sullivan. Sullivan with the kick. He'll send it up past the 40-yard line on the football field. Quite a kick there. Florence moving the ball around now, trying to find a way past Lawrence. Lawrence gets a foot on it, but it goes out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for Florence after a quick substitution. Time continues to tick away. The clock being the Cardinals' friend right now, as they have a 2-point lead over the Florence Flashes. Here's the throw for the Flashes. They'll head the ball pretty much all the way across the field. Ball goes out of bounds off the head of Florence. Turning possession over to Lawrence. There's the throw for Lawrence. Lawrence now on the drive, heading down the far sideline. Got a little too close to that sideline, and that will turn possession over to Florence. Here's a throw for Florence. Lawrence gets the ball. That pass in towards midfield, headed out by Florence. And the Florence kick is deflected by Lawrence. Goes out of bounds, so that will turn over the ball to Florence for another goal kick. Lawrence not letting up on the pressure, trying to put another one in the net to put this game away. And here comes the goal kick. Out about midfield and headed right back toward the Florence goal. In fact, right into the arms of the goalie. He'll decide to roll that towards the fullback. Fullback sees Lawrence coming and kicks it back out. They've got a little back and forth there, just trying to wear out Lawrence. Florence now on the attack. They'll send it up the middle. And right out of bounds it goes as the ball rolls past the left side of the goal. That will bring up a goal kick for Lawrence. Ryan Sullivan retrieves the ball. Looks like he'll be taking the kick as well. And here's the kick from Sullivan. Well past the center line. Headed back the other direction by Florence. Florence will play the ball off. Florence gets possession, but can't keep it. Lawrence comes away with the ball, and now they're driving. Oh, down goes one of the Cardinals. There goes another Cardinal. Florence comes away with the ball. And it's a long kick down the field. Headed back out of the danger zone. Lawrence trying to maintain possession of the ball, taken away by Florence. Florence will kick the ball down the field. Lawrence comes away with it. Taken away by Florence. Play on is the word from the ref as Lawrence clears the ball. Headed out by Lawrence. Some fast footwork there by Lawrence to come away with the ball on that one. Pass over to the near side and up the sideline. There's a kick deep into Florence territory. Lawrence can't get to it in time, and out it rolls. So bring up another goal kick for Florence. With just under 7 minutes of play left on the clock. Florence has got to be getting a little desperate. Trailing by 2 to our Lawrence Cardinals. Florence ready for another goal kick. There's the kick. And headed by Lawrence, but couldn't maintain possession. Picked up by Lawrence, however. Taken away by Florence and played back to the keeper. Kicked out to the sideline where Florence will attempt to bring it up the field. There's a nice kick up the sideline. Lawrence kicks it back and Florence comes away with the ball. Cross towards center, tipped out by Sullivan. Several head balls in a row there, and Lawrence can't get rid of it. Florence trying to keep it in play. They'll get the throw in. Lawrence with the steal. Can't hang on to it, though, as Florence retains possession. There's a shot in towards the goal, headed back out again by Lawrence. And Florence will drop the ball back. Unfortunately for them, out of bounds. I believe that'll be a throw-in for Lawrence. Jack O'Reilly with the throw. Lawrence with possession, and that may have been an offsides call. Florence setting up for the kick. It's a shot up the middle. Florence recovers the ball, and pretty much right back where they started. Now Florence with a shot towards the Lawrence goal, stopped by the Lawrence midfield. And there'll be a whistle on that play. That'll be a free kick for Lawrence. Looks like Jack O'Reilly's lining up to take the kick. And here's the kick. Picked up by Antonio Carnevale. He'll boot the ball back towards the Lawrence goal. Headed further along the way by Florence. Lawrence clears it well past the midfield. Florence attempts to return the favor. Doesn't get quite the distance, but they still maintain control of the ball. Here's a cross from Florence, as they'll send it over to the far side of the field now. Played in towards center. And that one goes wide to the left side of the goal. Ryan O'Sullivan took a dive at it as if he wasn't sure if it was going to miss the goal, but no problem there. And he'll set up for a goal kick. Sullivan with the kick. Well past the 50 again. And they're sending the ball back and forth across that center line. Now Lawrence with command of the ball. Turned over to the Florence Flash. Oh, I'm sorry, it is not. It is a free kick for Lawrence. John Schlosser with the kick. He sends that one right in towards the goalie, who has no problem fielding it. And there's a healthy boot from the goalie. Florence sends the ball in towards the goal. Rejected. And that one will roll across the end line. Looks like last touch may have been by Lawrence. It's Florence setting up for a goal or a corner kick. Jared Marshall getting ready to take the corner kick for Florence. There's the kick. Goes all the way across the field without anybody stopping it. And we're down to 1 minute of play left with Lawrence Cardinals in possession of the ball and a 2-point lead over the Florence Flashes. Florence takes the ball away. They'll send it up the sideline. Back again, now this time deeper into Lawrence territory. And the ball is cleared by Lawrence. Sent back in by Florence. And Ryan Sullivan will grab a hold of that one. 20 seconds of play left in the game. There's a kick by Sullivan. Played by Lawrence, as Lawrence back on the attack. No call. And there's a kick by Florence. There's the buzzer for the end of the game as your Lawrence Cardinals defeat the Florence Flashes at home with a score of 3-1. Excellent game by both teams, but it was the Cardinals' day today. Thank you for watching the Cardinal Sports Network, and thank you to our camera operator, Kellen Conway, for bringing you all the footage of this event. Tune in again next time for another exciting episode of Cardinal Sports on LTPS TV.